them take over. How was your Thursday trading session, guys?
Oh man, not bad, not bad, Scott. Thank you very much. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Andy, how's it going over there?
Doing good until I just went outside and checked my pool pumps, and I got a little small little leak and ice building up. So this one may not go too long today, guys. I got to take care of that. It is
Oh,
cold.
joy.
Yeah, joy. But anyway, got some good content for you. Always an interesting concept when I talk about contrarian alerts that I build. So anyway, this is one that I'll get to it in a minute. Don't want to go dive too far. But thanks everybody for joining us today. I'm Andy. That's Jamie and Scott, and let's move forward with the disclaimer here. We are a content publisher. Okay. We're going to be talking about some different setups today, looking at stocks and things like that, but just want you to know that nothing should be construed as investment advice. Okay, that's not what we're trying to do. We're just trying to provide some education and training for you. So if you are seeking somebody that can legally give you that advice, you want to look for a broker or a registered advisor, somebody that is licensed to do so. All right, the agenda for today: market recap as always, Holly recap as always, and then this is an old alert. I don't even know if I don't see if Mike C is in here yet. If he was even around, I'm thinking this may be about 4 or 5 years old, Jamie. But anyway, it's called "You Got to Be Kidding Me." All right, and
That's to say, if Mike wasn't around, it was a very long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is a very old alert. I pulled it out, dusted it off to take another look at it, and man, surprisingly, it is still performing very well. It's a contrarian long, and this is always kind of fun. A lot of people love this kind of stuff, and for some people who just want to trade momentum, that's fine. I understand. I'm not trying to change your style or anything. I just want to show you the statistics behind this this alert window, and stats do not lie. So anyway, oh man, and by the way, price alert game, there was some really good ones. Man, very impressed. We'll go over that and we'll play those again if we have time, if my pipes don't burst. All right, let's move on here. Before we do, let's talk about the 5-star support, education, and training in here. We got a big crowd today. I know a lot of people are new, and some of you just joined. Some of you are thinking about joining, and I just want you to know that it is a very powerful software. Okay, it can be daunting when you first open it up, but do not be afraid. Okay, it is very intuitive, and if you spend a few days with it, I mean, we have some people that open it up and 2 hours later they're they will cancel, and that's a shame, because if you just spend, it's like any endeavor. Okay, you got to spend some time with it. You got to take it out of the box, open it up, and devote some time to learning it. That being said, we do offer many resources. Okay, you can see along the left side we have webinars Monday through Thursday in the same time slot every day. We encourage interaction and questions. And down at the bottom there, you see our support webinar, okay, every day, Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time. That is nothing but 1 hour devoted to answering any questions that you might have about the software, okay? And we have a live stream going with a chat panel so we can demonstrate for you, and you can see as we also, kind of help walk you through it verbally as well. So just a lot of resources, a lot of videos that you can watch. Just spend an hour and two, and you'll be amazed how much you're going to learn. Okay, but don't get frustrated with it at first, or don't get wowed by it, and because I can't tell you, if you spend some little time, how much it's going to help your trading. Okay, Jamie and I both started trading way back in the day where you really didn't have nothing. You basically had a list of stocks that you traded, and you were banging in and out of them. And I can't tell you how much trade ideas, once it came around, just totally changed my P&L forever. So take the time that it takes to learn it, because it's going to benefit you. All right, and this just one more extra slide in case you missed it. Every Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern time, there you can see where you can hook up there at trade-ideas.com/live. All right, let me back out of this. Get me a drink of coffee today because I'm cold, but and we'll talk about the spiders here. If I can get this window stretched out in the right direction. All right, well, kind of some sideways action. Once again, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time at it. We're at all-time highs, basically, just hovering up here, going sideways. Tried to sell off each days with wicks coming in, mainly kind of at the close of the day. So I am seeing definitely seeing some selling. I've noticed you got to be in the right stocks right now, because I've noticed a lot of stocks are, selling off. But what's interesting to me, and what the guys have been also sharing, is anytime you get these moves like we got in the spiders here the last couple of days, all right, you may have a small percentage move in the indices, but your stocks will sell off like 5 or 7%. It's just crazy, and I'm sure you guys have experienced that as well. It seems like what happens is there's a few sectors that hold up, and everything else is just kind of really play at your own risk, because I'm seeing some wild moves, even though, and those can kind of be a little warning sign too, when you start seeing, these types of moves just in midday, and just, some pretty big downdrafts, and especially in the individual stocks that people they do realize we're up in this nosebleed section, and they're going to be quick to take profits if they've had them for a long time. So just keep that in the back of your mind, because one of these days it's not, buy the dip has definitely been working and will probably continue to work until it doesn't. But I've noticed that some of the stocks I'm in will sell off a lot more than the indices for sure. But other than that, guys, there's nothing to say about the overall markets kind of going sideways over the last 4 days after hitting all-time highs above all their moving averages. So no bearish case to talk about at all here. Check the IWM, and same thing there. But Jamie, anything you want to add? It's not a whole lot to talk about until we get maybe a major pullback, and then we can start analyzing stuff more.
Yep, you're right there. And I mean, looking at that SPY daily, I mean, who knows? We might meander along sideways here for a while.
We could.
Yep. Kind of looks like that is what is starting to form there. And of course, markets close Monday. Everybody remember that.
That's true. Yep.
So we'll have to wait an extra day to see. But yeah. But then, hey, there's always half the bandwagon thinks we're about ready to plunge. Half the bandwagon thinks we're just building up some steam here to head higher. But we've all got front row seats.
That's right. Yes, we do. All right, Jamie, if you want to grab it and go over a few Hollies real quick, that'll be great. I don't think there's a whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, the Holly review will be brief, just because, well, you can only comment on what's there.
That's right.
And so if you do have eyes on my screen, yeah?
I do. Okay.
So as you can see here, a lot of red on the blotter, focusing on the channel bar over here. $30 on 12 trades for 1.0, assuming 100 shares per trade. So basically just a little churn fest there out of 1.0. Neo about the same total, but on less trades, of course. And then Holly 2.0 just remaining silent today, as none of those strategies fired. But between the 17 signals that Neo and Holly 1.0 spit out, well, we can see them all right here. A little high number of stops. We got about 4 of those, and typically there might be a good example of a trade around. But as you can see in the aggressive profit column up here, we don't see any of those numbers in the green. Okay, a little bit less than $100, which is what the stop out was, but not really any trade arounds to speak of today. And as we can see, between conservative and moderate profit up here, not really any spreads to speak of either. I mean, the biggest one is this OSH -10, so we'll just call that 67, $70. Not the most breathtaking chart here, but all we had to do was hold it instead of getting out with Holly on that conservative exit, which was a profit save. So Holly just got a little jittery, got into it, popped up, came back down to that entry level. She pulls the plug for a small loser. All we had to do was just basically ignore that exit signal. After you see this little wick here, and I apologize, I didn't get my pen up. Let me get it real quick here. I know it's hard to see for some of you, my small cursor. There you are. One quick sec here. There we go. So just alluding to this little wick right here. Once we see that, hey, that gives us a little bit of confidence, snaps right back up and pretty much just hugs that line all day. So all we had to do was just stick with the trade. Just a nice, easy sideways and up motion for the rest of the day. So that's about the extent of the conservative moderate spread. The only other 2 points that I would make here, the ESI trade, nice trade. Well, my chart will change. There we go. Looking at this one here, was there an opportunity to add to this position? Yeah, we got it in this little, after this little downturn here, got this little period of consolidation, which is where Holly found it. And then boom, 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 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, we're back up here, okay? Notice what's happening here. Not the prettiest little U formation there, but it's a range break nonetheless. So this would have been a good time to add to the position right here, and we would have gotten to enjoy the rest of that move. Finishing higher into the close, but with a great opportunity to add a little bit right there on the opening range break, even though it did expend a little bit more energy than I typically like to see there, but it wasn't a huge dollar amount. Let's see here. I think NVO might have had a little bit of add opportunity as well. Right here. Same song, same dance. Just a little bit more stretched out of a pattern. Right over here, we did have that add opportunity. Take a peek at the volume in that one today. Yeah, we had pretty decent volume in NOV or NVO as well, finishing the day at 3. So when we see it meandering around over here and breaking that opening range, could have added a little bit, of course. What's that level? 73.65 up to 74 and change. So not a whole lot of meat left on the bone, but maybe another 35 cents there with an add-on somewhere in this area here. That's pretty much it for the highlights today. Just kind of a lackluster day for Holly as we meander at these all-time highs. Sometimes that statistical viability, or that alpha, as we like to call it, gets a little bit harder to find for a statistical model. But if we meander a few more days there, you know, things will start to come back into parity.
Yeah, I agree. There seems to be some sort of correlation over the last few days in the P&L. You just, with any strategy, I guess, when you get this kind of, you know, whipsaw back and forth, little choppy action, not going anywhere. You know, it's it can pretty much.
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing in some of the strategies that I'm testing in paper mode and Brokerage Plus. The past 3 days, it was on fire. I was like, wow. Just happened to catch some really good days, and of course today, boom, everything's kind of taking a break. But we shall see what happens.
All right. If you want to shoot it back to me, thank you. All right, let me pull this daily chart in. Let me make my charts a little bit bigger here since we're going to be going through some of these. There we go, much better. All right, so years ago, I created this alert called "You Got to Be Kidding Me." And once again, guys, I always tell you this, right before I build an alert, I'm always thinking in my head. I'm thinking, well, in this case, what I want to do is find stocks that are basically just extremely oversold and do a bounce, you know, for a possible, you know, day trade. And as a matter of fact, yeah, I think I was still probably day trading when I did this. So that does go back a long ways, Jamie. So anyway, I'm like, you know, this is going to be definitely a contrarian play, stocks hitting lows, but I want to see them have already coming into the current day, have 2 consecutive down days on the candle. And then I'm thinking I want them to be down more than 5% today. Okay. I'm looking for like a, you know, almost stretching that rubber band to where it has to bounce. Now it's kind of a dangerous strategy. I don't recommend this to everyone. You got to be very disciplined with a strategy like this. But as you see, when we run the back test, it performs very well. The first thing I want to do though is pull up a Word doc here because I copied and kind of hope you guys can see that. Let me get my pen going as well so you can kind of draw for you extra. So this is basically all the filters. As you can see, this is an optimized window. Okay, I already done all the optimization. I did not want to try to do that today. There's too much of it in there to show you, but you're just going to have to trust me by looking at all of these filters that this is optimized. Now you got to be careful anytime you optimize. I normally don't like using this many filters, but this is not one where I want to see a lot of trades coming through. And also just the nature of this configuration is going to tell you there's not going to be a lot of trades coming through. There's not too many stocks that you're going to find, and I hope you guys can see this. But anyway, I circled the ones that are kind of the ones that I used without optimizing, but I did optimize a bit. I wanted to see it down more than 5% on the day. Okay. I also wanted to see consecutive days. Coming into the day, it had to be down basically back-to-back days. So now what you got is you got stock that sold off the last 2 days and it's down at least 5% today. Okay, I'm looking for a stock that's definitely oversold and it typically bounce. But you can also see right here on earnings date, I'm trying to eliminate any earnings, okay, because we all know when those earnings are involved, these things can continue down for a very long time. So I do not want to see any earnings plays. So I just basically bracketed the earnings to eliminate anybody that had stocks the night before or anybody had stocks today. Okay, so it just eliminated those altogether. All right. So, and I'll show it to you again on my configuration just so, but I wanted to point this out, the ones that I kind of were thinking in my head, okay? I did not want it to be up over the last 10 days, and I wanted it to be down at least 5% on the day. So let me get this out of the way. And real quick, we'll look at it so you get a better look. I know sometimes those Word docs aren't very crisp. Let me clear my screen. There we go. So maybe that you can see that a little bit better, but that is the configuration. And once again, I'm not going to go into each one of the optimized. Okay, this is just something I did way back in the day. I probably would never know how to get back to that level. And I'm going to try to, I did run this already, the odds maker. I'm going to try to run it. If it's running real slow, we'll just shut it down. Sometimes in the afternoon, when especially when you have this many filters, it can take some time to run. But I tell you what, before we do, let's look at some trades. It's always better to look at some trades. Let's look at history for today. Now you're going to see when I run this, guys, this more is statistics versus technicals. There's not a lot of, I don't have any like bouncing off any moving averages. You're going to see some stocks in here that did bounce off some moving averages. When I see those, it's even better. But for the most part, it's kind of just a statistical analysis. You'll see when I run the back tester, it's pretty incredible. But you're going to see these things can be basically in no man's land and just bouncing. And I have it optimized to 9 o'clock. So let's try to start. Let's just go through all of them so you guys can see. This one's right at the open. I don't know that I recommend, you know, things right at the open gapping down like that. There's another one right here at 8:47 where, you know, a wick is involved. You would almost probably have to be auto trading to catch that and something like that. You know, you probably won't be able to see something, a really quick wick like that. I don't know. I'd have to break it down on a 5-minute level or a 2-minute level or something like that. But still, you can see the huge sell-off. There's one right there that really didn't work there at all. There one that's kind of going sideways. It's a good one right there. You can see just bounce. You can see this one is one that basically tagged its 20 period. Now there's nothing in the configuration that calls for any sort of bracket around the 20 period where it needs to bounce off that. That just happened to basically marry up with my filters that I had set. So that would be really interesting to me if I saw that. And you can see, right, it bounced right at that number. There's that one again. Let's see. There's another one, pretty good. I mean, it bounced a few minutes later. Not a lot of alpha there, but nonetheless. Let's see. Good one right there, pretty much right at the bottom, 1062, and you got a nice bounce, and there at the close you got another bounce. So that one would have paid off. You can see here there's nothing really, marrying up. This is below all its major moving averages, but nonetheless, strangely enough, it bounced right at this number. Don't ask me to tell you why. Sometimes it's just a statistical thing there. Let's see, I've already cleaned.
Yeah, Andy, we were talking about the exact same topic in the support session earlier today.
Is that right? Oh,
where,
cool.
Hey, you got the statistical, you got the technical. Sometimes the statistically generated trade looks beautiful, and matches a lot of the things that you like to see on the chart, and other times it does not.
Yep. There's a nice one right there, right at the bottom. And you can see if I draw a line right here on the daily, there's really nothing there. I guess you have a low over here, a little bit of congestion, but not much. And yeah, Jamie, look at that. IDRA, another one right there. Boom, bounce. And like I said, I did a lot of optimizing on this, so I don't know what happened, but a lot of things just came together on this one. And even though it's not technical, a lot of this stuff worked. I know we've seen a couple of these already. That one we've seen. That one we've seen. Look at that one right there. Boop. And that one did. There you go. You have one marrying up with the 20 period. Okay. Now, if I pull this up and I saw something like this, all right, I know it had 2 down days in a row, down over 5% a day, and now it's tagging its 20 period, and like clockwork, that thing had a nice little bounce there. Another one right there. And nothing happened on that one, but it didn't go any lower. Did I already pull this one up, I believe? No, that's the first one. As they get toward the end of the day, you're going to see, I think I have my my time set after 1 o'clock. I shut it down. If they're selling off this late in the day, they're probably not going to bounce, although this one did bounce at the close there nicely. Not going to look at too many more of these since they're getting close to the close here. But let's go ahead and back test this. Now remember, this is a total contrarian. You're buying lows. You're buying lows. So in many cases, if you were auto trading this, you're going to get all these trades. I'm not suggesting anybody to auto trade, but if I were going to, this is one I would do with real small size. I'd definitely paper trade it first. And this is an all-day hold, to close at the end of the day, and see what happens. These kind of things are fun to throw in your paper trader. Throw this in there and see what happens. So let's just back test this real quick. And there you see it. The optimized time is 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. It's an all-day hold. I normally don't do too many day trades. Okay, I mostly do swing trade. I do swing trading in this, so I don't back test a whole lot of swing trades. But I dug this one up. I was thinking, man, because it's hard. It's very hard to get a day trading strategy to back test well. Risk management. Okay, we are going. That's a little bit steep. I'm gonna change this to 1.5 because really, I hope I'm not messing it up. I'll go back and do it at 2 if this doesn't work. But typically, if I've had a stock to sell off that much, it's down 5% on the day at least, I'm probably not going to give it too much more. Okay, something's wrong if it's going to go down another 2% after that. Yeah, there you go. Just dupe it, huh? And we're going to run it for the whole last 62 days, and we'll hit simulate buy, and hopefully this baby can run quickly today.
And go.
Not off to a very good start. It's like that horse that wouldn't leave the stall, I mean, there you go. And we can always go back and run it at 2 as well. Come on now, baby. Don't get stuck on me. Yeah, it doesn't look like to me it's going to run as good. I may have to move it back to 2%. Because actually, I have one over here where it's at already done, so we won't have to sit here and watch this Italian flag. And I may give up on it here. I got getting close. It's normally like this, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. We have one of our big techs, okay, who's been out on a kind of a family matter lately, and things a little bit slow when he's not around, but he'll be back soon, and everything will pick up. But I think some of you guys have noticed it in the room with the charts kind of lagging a little bit. Although I thought they did better today. I didn't see any much today. There you go. It did. It came out good. All right. So what do we have here? I mean, guys, think about it. This is you're buying lows. You're buying a stock with this strategy that's getting slammed. Okay. And you're holding it all day. So you got a 2.47 profit factor. That's really good. Okay. You got over a 50. Let me see how this marries up to my other one. Yeah, this is kind of interesting. I'll show you the one at 2% too. And you guys can decide what you're going to do with it. Let me just do this right here. We can compare them side by side. I believe this is the one at 2% right here. So basically around the same profit factor. This one had a higher winning percentage, but this had a better average versus, winner versus average loser. Okay. Makes sense because you're going to have less losses because you have a smaller risk management. As far as percentage, you're only letting this go against you a 1.5%. Well, in this one, you're letting it go 2.5%. So, but this one, because of the 2%, these things bounce back and you had a higher winning percentage. So you guys can choose what you want to do. Okay, I'm going to share the one with the 1.5%. But anyway, let's dissect it more, guys. Okay, so if you had a starting equity of 50,000, get my little pen going again. All right, and you were investing $3,000 per trade. Okay, so not a lot of risk there. Well, I guess that's subjective. I shouldn't say that. Buying power required would only be 72,000, so you could easily perform this this strategy, because obviously in day trading you get 4 to 1. You're not even near 2 to 1 on this way, so you're not risking a whole lot of your capital with it. So you could probably still trade a little bit on the side as well. Average winner. This is the key. You got a better than a 2 to 1 average winner versus average loser. That is huge in day trading. Okay. So you don't need a really high percentage rate. It's over 50%. But if you were running this strategy over the last 62 days, started with 50,000, you would have made almost $7,000 running this strategy. Now there probably would maybe a little slippage here and there, of course, and if you do have commissions, that would factor in. But still, a very impressive strategy, and it's a total contrarian strategy. And like I said, I just started building this way back in the day and just thinking of things that would be oversold, and started working with it. I haven't pulled it out because I've really been swing trading. More of my stuff's been discretionary lately, swing trading, because Trade Ideas keeps me so busy. I don't have time to sit here and day trade. But you might want to put this into play. And I see you answering some questions, Jamie. Is there anything I need to talk about as far as, looks like you getting it?
No, you pretty much explained Chris's question there about the equity curve.
Okay. Yeah,
I think we're caught up. Yeah.
Yeah. Now let's face it, guys. I always tell people, more important, I think, than the strategy itself is when to implement strategies. Okay. Currently, we've been in a nice bull market. Let's not kid ourselves. Something like this is going to work much better than if we're in a bear market. This is where you see, and it's really easy to see. You can probably go back and look, and this right here was probably about 3 or 4 or 5 days of downdraft in the market. Okay, a strategy like this is not going to perform as well, and that goes with any strategies. I can show you so many swing trading strategies that just kill it, but I know if the market turns, it's not going to work. So it's really, the key is when to run them, and when not to. And basically, if you're in a nice little trend upward and things are looking good, hey, you could put something like this in play. If you get into, let's put back up the SPY, areas like this, maybe on this day right here where you have a big gap down, maybe you cut it off. Maybe you don't run these strategies. Maybe you don't run it till about 4 days, and then on this day, hey, maybe kick it back in. So you can kind of look at a chart and get an idea when you may want to, cut a strategy on and when to not to. And actually, if you do that, your performance is going to be better than this performance, okay? Because you're basically avoiding drawdowns like that. Now I know some days it can be tricky when you're kind of going sideways, like right now. Do you cut it off because we're just kind of going sideways? We could have a pullback, but I say, when it comes to when to turn on strategies and when not to turn on strategies, I would kind of focus on maybe some moving averages, maybe the 20-period moving average. Okay, if the SPYs do drop below that, or maybe you don't turn on a bullish strategy until it's back above the 20, or some people may use the 50. I don't know, but the whole idea is a strategy is only going to be as good as the person implementing them. Turning when to turn that button on and when to turn it off. Well, Holly, yeah, good question, George. This is, and the same thing goes with Holly. Unfortunately, Holly can't see everything that you can see. There's so many variables in the marketplace, that Holly sees a lot, especially as far as data is concerned, of the strategies that she is working. But once the entry is made, she's not as good as exiting as a trader would be. That's why we say the best traders that trade Holly, it's man and machine. They know when to, maybe they'll let Holly get them in the positions, but they can manage them better because they're watching a sector watch list. They know if Holly called a semiconductor today, and they look over here and semis are very strong. Hey, maybe I want to hold on to this. Maybe if Holly calls an oil stock, all right, and you look down at the bottom and there's your oil stocks down here, you're like, oh man, I'm going to cut this one quick. Oil's not having a very good day. Market's really pulling back right now. Holly may not see that, but I see it. I'm going to cut my losses on this one. Those are kind of things that you're going to get with experience, okay? And I don't care what automation there is out there that think they can read, better than a human eye can see. It's just not available yet. Maybe it's great at reading data. It does some number crunching that we can't do, and like Jamie's always pointing out, the statistical side. But when it comes to applying good old trader common sense and gauging all the variables in the market, I think a good trader can exit much better than any AI out there. When to take profits, something gets overextended, running into certain moving averages, an AI can't do that as well as a human. Let me make sure I get some of these questions asked. Could you run the hot sector by stock selection? Not sure what you mean. Can you run it in a hot sector by stock selection? Well, not at this time. Not at this time. I've wanted to. I've talked to some of the developers about maybe implementing some of the sector into the formulas. We're just not quite there yet. But that's where you can come in, you know, when you see a trade come off, you know, and that's where a human can take over, and just not try to automate everything. Just use a lot of common sense. Let's see. Okay, Jamie got that one. No, I'm going to share that with you right now. I'm going to share that. You got to be kidding me. And I tell you what I'm going to do. Let me, I think it should save. Guys, when you run the back tester, just make sure, well, you can decide what you want to do. It's at 1.5 right now. It should save that way. I'm going to resave it. So it should come to you with all this back testing that I just ran. That's going to be saved. Okay, so you can do it as well. And but if you want to change it to 2%, I understand. Once again, a lot of this stuff is subjective. And I'm going to drop it into the chat window, guys. You got to be kidding me. I remember, introducing this in a webinar, and there were several people who just loved it. Now, it's not for everybody. You know, don't feel like, you know, if it's not your style, don't worry about it. If you're still looking for a style and you're kind of somebody who likes to take the other side of the momentum sometimes, this may be one that works for you, because you can see it back test well, versus just randomly going in and shorting Tesla just because it's, you know, ran so much. Never, you know, short a stock just because it's gone too far. You're going to get killed that way. But this is a little bit different because it is back tested. I mean, if you try to create a back tester just fading all-time highs, that's going to be very hard for you. So anyway, it's in the chat panel. You have access to it. And if you watch this video later, just hit us up, guys, and we'll share it with you. Just send us an email. We'll definitely share it with you. Let's see, can I create an alert window when the SPY down Nasdaq are going up or down? Yeah, I can just I can show you real quick what we have. Okay, good question. What you can do, just launch an alert window, go in here and just type in SPY, and you can do this. I don't know if we have anything for the Dow. I don't think we do, Jamie. But the main things are SPY and Nasdaq. But here's what you want to use.
Exactly, that's what I do. All the change columns, because depending on the time frame that he wants to see the change in, he could, you know, see all of them or just the ones that he wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to build an alert and you don't want the alert to show you anything unless the SPY has gone 0.5% in 10 minutes, what you'd want to do is just hit that, add filter, and you'd put in the minimum column right here, whatever percentage you want. If you wanted 0.5%, you would put 0.5. And so now nothing would come through this alert unless the SPY changed 0.5% in a 10-minute time frame. So it's very easy to do. And I think we have something for Nasdaq. Yeah, Nasdaq, same thing. So there you go. All right, let's go to the price alerts. Man, you guys impress me. And you guys, hey, y'all need to start copying. When I share these, there's some good traders in here. So you want to make sure that if you're in here, you copy when I share them with you, that you save these price alerts so you can benefit. And let's find them. Okay, here we go right here. The big winner, Stan G. Stan G was CENX. CENX. Beautiful call right there. There's your trigger, your price alert at 354. I'm sorry, what am I doing? The alert price was 1122. It's currently at 1476 for a 31.5% winner. Good job, Stan. But it doesn't end there. We had Aja. I know he gets tickled every time. I'm sure I butcher his name, but I have fun saying it, and I think he has fun listening to me say it. With a 16% winner in AGTC. Look at that call right there, and that thing. It looks like actually a bigger percent. I'm not sure what's happening there.
Very nice.
Yeah, very nice nonetheless. Gosh, we had some good ones. Sarah, but with a HUYA. Now on this one, you would have had to withstand an ugly pullback on this day right here, but if you did, man, you did very well. Gosh, there were lots of them. Under Armour played it into earnings. UAAA, that one was a 12% winner from, is that Rena or Renee? Rena? I think it's Rena, isn't it? Man, there's some 8% winner here, and for Vincent and Tiger. PayPal, Abdul had some nice one there, even though it was only 6%. Some nice dollar amounts there. So yeah, some great job, guys. So let's do it again. Let's do it again so I can erase these. Try to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think I got them all. Yeah, I did. All right, let's go ahead and erase these, and we'll do it again. Guys, you know, most of you do know the game. All right, just give me a stock and a price. I'm going to assume it's a long price alert unless you tell me otherwise. And let's play. All right, Bill, first out of the blocks with LBRT. And that is at 11:35. Yeah, you guys are good, man. I may have to start charging people these. All right, and we got Randy, VISL at 315. Oh, he's looking for a pullback. I like it. Oh, 315. He's looking for a big pullback. That's all right. Sometimes it happens. And that is Randy. Oh, wait, that's a long though. Right there at the bottom. Okay, let me do this. There we go. Makes it easier. All right. MVIS from Dave Fontaine. And that is 1790 long. Oh, he's giving it, he's making it tight. He's making it real tight. I'm sorry, Jamie. Things are moving
So it's
fast.
going to fall down to 1790 from above?
Well, it's at 1771 right now, so I guess he's looking at the.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That was Dave Fontaine. They're coming in fast. I may have to.
I was looking at the wrong number.
Okay, let's see.
Pins.
Scroll back. Pins from email. Let's see. What's the number on that, Jamie? 1888.
Long at 88 even.
All right. And the name on that was email, right?
IME.
All right.
George, you need a price on that UAVS. There we go. Okay. All right. Got it. At the bottom.
What is it?
You ready for George? UAVS at 1435.
All right.
Next, we got Mara, MARA, at 4120. And that is for Waleed.
All righty.
Next
we
is
got Sarah.
Yeah, TNXP.
Okay.
$2.15.
And that is, oh wait, okay, Sarah, I'm sorry, that's my bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then we got GSAT. We got to need a number on GSAT. Demetrius. I'll go down to the next one. Let's see, HIHO.
Hi-ho silver.
IO Silver. It's trading at 522. I'm going to stick you up here at 525. And that was Aja.
Aja.
Aja. But I can't type. Let's see. Okay, I'll change that later there, Randy. 515. Let's see.
Beyond, I guess, is next.
Oh, 515. There we go.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know why it triggered.
Bissell triggered, yeah.
Oh, because I had it from above. Okay, let me do this. Why is it not doing price falls? I don't have it checked. Direction. Oh, well, I know what it is. I'll work on it afterwards. Let's see here. Let's see.
I think we're at beyond for Walt.
Okay.
176.70.
All right.
Okay, VGAC.
Oh, BGAC.
Yeah, Victor George. 1494.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And that was from Abdul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we got Bingo.
Yep. 1260.
Pretty
I
soon,
remember
man.
I remember when Dan was beating the table back before it broke out.
Yeah, I think I do too.
I just don't know if any of us managed to stay in it long enough.
Rinka. Pretty soon, my whole webinar is going to be these price alerts, man. They're getting more and more each time. CLDT from Stan G at 1255. INSG 1970. And that was from Gabriel.
Yep.
And Atos at 425 from Martin. I'm going to give you a little head start there, Martin. Okay. No, he may not want it unless it goes there. I better stick with this number. What was it, 425?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And all right, looks like, let me go ahead and let's see. Randy, I'm just going to delete that and do it again. BISL 515. All right, Guys, that is it. Look, none of them is triggered. So let me go ahead and save them. Make sure I didn't miss anybody else. WELL from Elena, real quick. And that will be all 66.79. Oh, nice little breakout there. All right, more and more. Let me share these, guys. It looks like we got about 15 of them this time. Perfect. Share, copy all. It's going to be dropped into the chat window. And hey, remember, pay attention to these. There's been some good ones. Call it price alerts. And there you guys have it. May the best man or woman win. And that's going to do it, guys. Okay, I'm sorry I didn't get that one in. I'll stick it in there after. I can't share it, but KJ, but I will. I'll definitely put it in there for you. All right, Scott, let me pull it up, and you can come back in and walk us out of here.
Yeah, thank you. Everyone, make sure to tune into the daily support sessions and also grab your free ebook. There's an ebook on earnings season, which you can use to your advantage. Go ahead and just go to tradeIdeas.com/live, tradeIdeas.com/earnings, I'm sorry, to grab that ebook. It's free and it has some cloud links you can import into your layouts. Check out the podcast. Trade Ideas Podcast is the phrase to search for in your favorite pod app. Just go ahead and add us as a subscription and grab that newest episode and the back issues, and we'll have a new one out soon. And if you have it as a sub, then you will get the newest one as soon as it comes out. Use the code opportunity to save 15% off your first month or year of Trade Ideas or an upgrade from standard to premium. And of course, Jamie is at QuantBot on Twitter and Steve Gomez is at Today Trader. You can also find us on Facebook at Trade Ideas Pro. And send all your email questions to info@tradeIdeas.com. That goes into our help desk software, and you will get your best result as quick as possible. Thanks, everyone. The recording will be up later on tonight or tomorrow. You get an email reminder tomorrow in your inbox from GoToWebinar with a link to the playlist where you can find it. Thanks, Jamie, and thank you, Andy. Have a good one.
Thanks, everybody. I'll see some of you in the support webinar tomorrow. Have a great weekend if I don't see you. Bye-bye.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Later.